All right. After evaluating the film, very proud of our team. Come back, had a very efficient and highly efficient in how we executed on all three phases. Of course, there's always things you need to work on, but it's just going back there. I thought special teams really made some great strides as far as our kickers and punters. I thought, we had one punt, but we put it inside the 5 or right down there on it. Kickers, Seth kicked the ball extremely well, was very accurate. Kickoffs, the ones we didn't kick out, we covered well. We're inside the 20 on tackles, so we covered our special teams well. But the big thing, I've got our punt return game going. Got Rashad some time, creates some space, which creates field position, which creates points, which creates opportunities. I mean, offense, defense, whatever. Because all those do, you win that punt battle. All right, say if you go 3 and out, that's still 20 yards you add when you punt it back. You get it back. Those situations, but put you in position to score, which we did quite a few times off of that. In that regard, but very happy in that. Special teams did a really good job. I thought offensively, I thought we moved the ball very well. I thought we were efficient. Unfortunately, the first drive down in the red zone, we could have got a touchdown, and we had a drop on the third time down there. The rest of the times we scored. Had one turnover on a deep route we just didn't see. A route how we got the Mets, they got too tied together and caused the read to be cloudy. Just got to be more efficient there, but I thought Kellen played really well in the game. I thought Zach and James come in the game, did a really nice job of moving the team, just getting that field position and learning how to manage the game, making throws, made some, missed some. Zach got a couple touchdown passes, some really good things. Our young players, Nias, I thought did a really good job with the ball, but our other receivers caught the ball. Cabody and Spiller did a really nice job. Tight ends will keep continuing to grow in that area. Got some young linemen, some work. So in that area, we were pretty good in all areas. Had good balance running and throwing. Good decision making almost for the entirety of the game, what they were doing. And they brought a multitude. The good thing about that group brought different blitzes, a lot of different stunts up front that we were able to pick up, and blitzes and twists and games that which you always worry about and how you're going to pick them up, especially with young players. We did a really nice job. Defensively, I thought we were very good, very physical at the point of attack. They ran a different attack as far as it's almost midline. Reading the nose, reading the 3, reading the ends on your quarterback reads, a lot of play actions, a lot of eye violations, a lot of motion with fly motions, having to keep great leverage on the ball. Thought our defense defended those very well, and they'll match the passing game very good. And I thought played a really, really good football game, very outstanding football game. I think they popped one big run there and had another drive in which the other thing especially, I forgot, we got a blocked field goal. Anytime you can get that push and get in there and get a block and those situations is all very critical. We were able to do that last year too. So very efficient day. Did what we had to do. Kids got better. Got a lot of guys work. And just what I like to see is the way we approached practice last week and the things, and we got to do the same thing this week. We had a very good opponent coming in. Auburn's top 10 football team in this country, very deserving. You watch the film. Offensively, Gus does a tremendous job. Always does. I mean, all his shifts, motions, fly motions, eye violations, and runs in different ways and different formations, and then all of a sudden, play action, hit a trick play, and boom, there's a guy down the sideline. There's a guy on the post. There's a guy when you're rotating and getting all your matches and keeping leverage on the football and screen games and quarterback run game. I mean, does a tremendous job in how he does it. Defensively, outstanding. Numbers have been that way for a long time. They're one of the best, as good a defensive front as there probably is in college football. Their front is big, physical, strong. Linebackers are active. Play a lot of mixed coverages in the secondary, mix up man, mix up zone. Very aggressive. Don't create a lot of separation. I remember last year over there, we getting separation's tough. These guys come in and then they rush you, make the ball come out, don't have to cover as long. I mean, they're a really good group. Special teams, I've always had great return guys, very fast team, good skill guys, can cover and run. So we're going to have our hands full. We've got to play a great game. It's an opening conference game. Those games are very important. It's also an interdivisional game, which makes that game even more important. And so if you want to have the goals and aspirations of where you want to go, we have to play. This is going to be one heck of a test for us, and looking forward to watch our kids practice, prepare, and get ready to play.
Start with Gabe, and then down front, Brent.
Sort of two-parter, a status update on Elijah Blades, but more of my question is about Renfro, his return, how you felt he played in the game, and also the competition that creates.
Well, it does. I mean, in rotations, it allows you to, like I say, in today's game, the more multitude of guys you got back there that can play the ball, can play corner, can play nickel, can play dime because of personnel matchups and how you want to do it by game and by situation, and as they learn. And if you have an injury, you have this, you got those guys. And getting him back was huge. Great length, great size. Thought he played very well. Almost had a pick in the game, but defended very well. Tackled, had some really nice tackles, fit to run and support very well in those things. Did a good job. Elijah should be ready to go, should be ready to practice and everything going today.
Go go Brent and then Chuck.
I know it's a challenge for any quarterback to go on the road in the SEC, but how much more of a challenge is it to be a true freshman quarterback? And does that change y'all's approach at all either?
Well, I mean, you have to play them. They're going to do what they do. As their quarterback, Bo Nix, is an outstanding young man. I've known Bo for a long time. Again, his father played for me and was one heck of a football player. And not only that, is a competitor and as a football mind, one of the best I've ever been associated with. I mean, his dad's a winner. I mean, he's a great coach in college, coach in high school. So he'll have a lot of intangibles in his blood that some other freshmen may not, from just the experiences of being around those things. So I mean, it's obviously a tough test. We have to prepare like no matter what, that's what they do with him. But he's an outstanding player. He can beat you. He has a great arm. He's got great legs. And he's a very tough, competitive, and smart young man. So again, hopefully we can play well against him.
Go to the left, Chuck, and then Olin.
Brent beat me to that question, but you mentioned the importance of the conference opener, especially in the SEC West, especially going against a top 10 team. I mean, what does this kind of mean for you in terms of the tone setter, I guess, for the rest of the season?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's a tone. See, you set a tone, but you got to reset that tone each and every week. I mean, that's the thing about it. It doesn't matter. It's just one game at a time. It's a conference game. It's an important game, and it's an interdivisional game. It's an important game. It puts you in a great position if you can have success, but you have to practice and prepare to have success in what we do. But whether you win the game, you still have to line up and play the next week. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, you got another conference game, and another individual game, and what goes on. And I just take them 1 week at a time, and none are bigger than others. It's the biggest one's the one in front of us. So, but it's important that we have success. There's no doubt.
Second row, Olin.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned how good the Auburn defensive front is. So what have you seen from your offensive?
Well, say their whole defense.
Especially the front. What have you seen from the offensive line that make you feel like that, y'all could either win that matchup or at least,
Well, I mean, our guys, we ran the ball, moved the ball. There's things in the Clemson game we did extremely well. Some missed assignments we had or just miscommunications on blocks. But we know, and what I see daily by who we're blocking. We have a very good front, too. Our guys block our guys and move the football and do the things they do. And our front wins some, too. Listen, they're going to win their battles. We have to win our share of them. We're going to have to be very tough in what we do because they're big, physical, and how they fit. So, I mean, I've watched this. It's going to be one heck of a battle because, like I say, everybody who plays them, is going to be a challenge.
To the left, Suzanne.
Talking about Auburn.
Hey, Jimbo, I'm just curious. You've had players before, I'm assuming, whose dads played for the schools that you coached?
Yeah, I believe so. You remind me how old I am. That makes me feel bad.
But like Isaiah Spiller's dad played for the Aggies, Bo Nix, dad played for Auburn. I mean, do you find that there's a little something extra with those kids that they...
I do, as far as, especially a coach, and on top of that, not only playing, but Patrick's a coach. You know what I mean? And his grandfather was a great high school coach in Alabama and Georgia. Won state championships in places and coached some phenomenal players. And I think when you're just hearing those things, I know my own son, the conversations I have with my son, who's highly, I mean, he's smarter than I ever dreamed of being. He knows more ball, and it just, sitting around and listening, hearing, and handling situations and doing things. I mean, I think it does make a difference because I think it's just something that it doesn't help you athletically, but it does mentally and psychologically of how to deal with things, deal with situations, and what happens and what to expect. And we know some things that some people think if you're not around, that's a big deal. Some guys, well, no, just do this because they've heard coaches say it and how they handle it. And I think that does help. I really do.
And then I have a second
Yes,
question.
ma'am.
After 3 games, do you think you know what your team's offensive identity is and how close to...
Well, I think we're finding our identity as a team, not just offensively. I think defensively, I mean, each and every week by who you play and how you play, that identity is always going to be challenged. And our identity is it's going to be balanced. We're going to be physical up front. We're going to run the football. We're going to be multidimensional in personnels and formations and be able to stretch the field and reach all parts of the field with getting the ball out quick and different things, screen game, but we're going to stretch the field and throw it down. So our identity is never really going to change. What you're learning is the personnel of how you have to do it and what each individual can and cannot do. And like you say, then you get some young guys who you're still learning and you think and you're going to have to, and part of that, you got to put them in those situations to let them try it and either do it or don't. And as you go, because we're playing so many young guys.
Coach will go to the back right, Mike, behind the lights.
Coach, after looking at the tape, do you think that was the bounce back performance for Kellen he needed to get his confidence right when he was talking to you?
Well, I think his confidence was there. I mean, just because you don't play your best game, I don't think, that doesn't make an athlete's confidence ever go. You question yourself on everything you do. I do as a coach. Every call you make, everything you do, and all of a sudden by day two, that confidence, you can coach or you can play or you do what you're going to do. But I think he played very well. I thought he played very efficiently and had a very good outing. But I just say his confidence was ever going. I don't ever think it was ever going. Sometimes games just don't go as well. Sometimes you don't make as good a calls. I mean, that's ball. Watch Sunday afternoons, watch every Saturday. But he is, you have a short memory. I promise you that. With quarterbacks, DBs, you have the shortest memory of all, because those are the most glaring places in which people know when you don't do right, generally. But I think he'll be fine, and he's playing really well. Had a good week of practice. I think he will this week.
Down front left, Travis, and then Alex right behind him.
What went into the decision to move Kagan from a line to fullback, and what kind of attributes did he have that show that?
Well, I think, he, as a lineman in our league, I mean, he was a 275-pound guy relatively in that range. Well, that ain't big enough. I'm not even thinking about what we're saying. I mean, it's just to have a future. And he came and said, I want to contribute, Coach. And I said, there's some roles, and we talked through some things, and he had some ideas. I said, yeah. And he said, I want to get my body in shape and be able to do that. He's become a special teams guy on our special team. He can run, he's athletic. And the thing about it, you don't realize, he can catch football. Even though he's an O-lineman, he said, I can catch, Coach. I said, all linemen say they can catch because they all want the ball. But then we put him there and we run our offense. He catches the ball very well. And he's tough, he's smart, he's physical, and like I said, he has really good ball skills. And those guys are hard to find, especially fullbacks and guys, because you look at offenses anymore, they're not out there. There's not offenses using them. You know what I'm saying? So, and him to be it's a selfless role, in my opinion, because most of the time it's going to be just blocking and doing those things. And he is a tremendous guy. I mean, tremendous human being. He really is, and very proud for him making the role. He's done a heck of a job. And he's really helped us.
Second row on the left, Alex, and then we'll go to the back, Tyler.
Hey, Coach, just
Yes,
also
sir.
a couple updates on Max Wright and Jaden Peavy, and then also how important is it to get the pass rush going this week on all three?
Well, I think it is, and I think you got to be careful when I say pass rush. You got to affect him, but you can't give him run lanes. Bo can run. He can move. He has really good feet. And young athletic quarterbacks sometimes, like you say, sometimes you giving them run lanes is the best friend you can give them, because then all of a sudden they hit some things, get confidence. It's like getting a foul shot or a breakaway layup for guys that scores. You know what I'm saying? They get that confidence to get it going. And I think we have to be very disciplined in how we do that. But you got to affect the quarterback. I mean, that's number one. And what was the other part of that?
And Max Wright and Jaden Peavy?
Peavy should be practicing, should be good. He could have probably played in the game Saturday, and we had him on standby, could have went, whatever. But he should be healthy and ready to go. Just had a couple nicks and knacks, and we were able to hold right there. And Max is probably, I don't know if he'll practice today, but it's a day-by-day situation.
Go to the very back, Tyler.
Yes, sir.
Coach, you talked about Auburn's defense, but on offense, they're a team that likes to establish the run, have a lot of guys capable of running.
No doubt.
And against
Back is a really good player. I mean, they're tight end, back, and physical up front.
So with your defensive front, I mean, what's the matchup going to be like?
Well, it's going to be physical. Listen, and the trenches on both sides is going to be a physical, knock 'em, rock 'em, sock 'em game. I mean, it's going to be who can help control that part. We're going to have to be able to play the run and then play the quarterback run, and then plus play their fly sweeps and all those things and keep the edges and keep, which can weaken you inside. They do a great job of those things. So it's going to be a huge challenge for our defense because of what they do. Like I said, Gus does a tremendous job on offense and how they do it. And we're going to have to be physical up front and take on blockers. We're going to have to defeat blockers. There's no doubt.
To the left, Cease, and to the right, Gabe.
Two things if I could, Jimbo.
Oh, yeah.
Was the Auburn loss last year the toughest loss the team had? And then your matchups with Kevin Steele over the years. What characterizes how he calls the game, and is this his best defense you think possibly?
He's had some really good ones. I mean, he's at Clemson and different places we've run, and Kevin's a heck of a coach. Has been around a long time. Excellent. He's very hard to prepare for. He does a multitude of things and makes you be really sound in everything you do. And he blitzes you. He plays man. He plays zone. Moves the front. I mean, he 3 down front, 4 down front, nickel packages, dime packages. I mean, he does a tremendous job, and they're all tough. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they're all tough. I mean, it was we thought we had a chance to be successful in, but that's why there's time on the clock. You got to play and you got to make plays, and they made plays toward the end, and we weren't able to match that. We made them early, and they come out on top in a heck of a game. So. Listen, but to say that they're all tough. They're the toughest loss. They're all tough.
The right side, Gabe, and then to the left, Justin.
Coach, I wonder if you could take us through the genesis of the Jumbo package with Bobby. Bobby calls it the Jimbo package. How that came about to utilize him, and how do you feel like that?
Well, you know, people say, on the goal line, knock them out of there. Well, you know, you just don't knock people anymore. You could go watch pro football. I mean, guys get on the goal line. If you'll watch, probably, I'm going to say anymore, 65% of the time, a throw scores a touchdown when you're inside the 1 or 2 yard line. There's not a lot of, I'm going to line up and just knock you out of there. And there's not, because those defensive linemen are so massive and huge and athletic, and when they just want to, as I say, just sit down, or what they teach them is to crab down in there and just get on the ground and create a pile, you can't move. You say, that old cliche, that doesn't happen. So you got to have ways that can create different angles, and Bobby is a huge man who has very explosive body and can bend and create movement, so his extra oomph can get you that push. Because all you're trying to do is create a seam, and that back's got to hit it and knock it. You know what I'm saying? And you got to get in there. And he's a guy that can help us move piles in what he does. You know what I'm saying? Because he's so physical and so athletic and has so much power. And so you get it from a second level. It's like getting an energy boost, you know, because they hit some of it. Like the other day, we ran one, and our line was in a battle. And I mean, we moved the guy this far, and I mean, it's a battle. All of a sudden, here comes Bobby, and he kind of hits our guy in the back, but that extra, you know, just knocks another, and you get, and then all of a sudden that creates a seam. And I think that's how, man, it's hard. When those guys bunch in there and everybody says, knock them out of there. Well, sometimes the tighter you get in there, the harder it is to move, because they know it too. They're selling out down in there and what you do, and then you run outside, and if it don't go, why'd you run outside? You had to go 6 inches. Well, because they got 9 guys in between the tackles. You know, so you got to get guys, the point being, to answer your question though, you got to get guys that can help you move, not just block people, but create seams, and his body allows you to do that.
Go to the left, Justin, down front, get Brent.
Coach, obviously, on a defense like Auburn, it's not going to be easy to do this, but one of the things that stands out on the 20-plus yard plays for you guys is had a bunch against Texas State and Lamar, only one against Clemson. And again, I know the competition has something to do with that.
Well, and that's dropping them and missed throws and dropped them.
Do you pay attention to that, Coach? And when you do get turn plays, how beneficial is that?
Oh, big plays. I say turnovers, big plays determine outcomes of the game as much as anything anymore. I mean, you have third down efficiency, red zone efficiency, but when you really look at turnovers and big plays, we chart big plays, what we want, how we do them, and create and scheme for them. And we had plenty of opportunities at Clemson. There was no doubt. Whether we overthrew them or missed a block, there was 3 or 4 runs that should have come out of there. We're right there on the edge. If we just miss them, I mean, go on the edge of a guy, don't get him cut off, it's coming out, or we dropped the ball. We had 6 drops of over 15 yards or more. All those are big plays. So, you know, you got to execute. And no doubt, the tougher the competition, the harder it is to execute. And but we have to do that, and we're very capable. We do it against our people.
Down front, Brent, and then Olin.
With Baylor cut out, how impressed are you with the quick impression that Weidermeyer has made in terms
Very
of...
impressed. Getting better and better each week, learning how to play. The physicality of the game, the running. Boy, he's athletic and strong. And he and Bill, you know, they're doing a good job. And Bill's doing a really nice job in that deal. And last week, we saw Cam Morey. Cam Morey got to play some and did a really good job. And you go watch that film, he was very physical on the blocks and did a really good job in there, big body.
Right side.
But Weidermeyer is coming along very, very well. I mean, very happy with him and think he's going to be one heck of a player.
Jimbo and Ice was pretty impressive, so I wonder, what's that balance you look for, or how difficult is it to decide to give more playing time to a guy with... When
No, he would have had playing time earlier than this. He got injured on Thursday before our first game. He had an injury in practice, and they kept him out of that game. And then, you know, he didn't get to practice the whole week the next week. So going into Clemson and with a very limited practice, that was not something you wanted to put him in that environment. I don't know if he got in or not. I can't remember up there or not. It wasn't this, you know, the situation just didn't occur. But Nice is a guy that we think can help us and really make plays, and has really had a great camp and developed very mature for his age. And we think that would have played earlier if it not for he got injured on the Thursday before the opening game.
He was on kickoff return when Jay Sean went out against Clemson. That was
Okay, that was, but you know, and we put him in special team, but we'd have played him more in the offense. He didn't practice as much, but he was a guy that has really earned those reps and done a really good job, and camp. So you'll see more of it. You'll see more of it.
You have guys that have proven themselves and done a lot of things, good things for you, that are veteran guys. I was just wondering that.
No, you got to get this. The guy earns the right to play. He earns the right to play, and he's done that in practice, and we'll mix him in there and get him going.
Brent, you'll wrap us up.
So his recruitment seemed pretty interesting. You mentioned the other day he was a late ad because you wanted him all along. Could you kind of take us through Anice's recruitment, trying to get him on board?
Well, no, I mean, he's a guy whose family had a brother who was playing in the NFL, so he's very aware of taking visits, seeing things, making sure it's the right fit, what's going to happen, with the scheme, and do I fit in there? And I think they were very diligent in a good way, not in a bad way, but we was always honest. We were always talking the whole time. And they were just being very patient in their decision making. And we wanted him, loved him, was in our camp. You saw a natural football player. And you would turn the film on, whether he played DB, returned kicks, he was in the slot, he could run it. I mean, just very, very natural what he did. And you saw that in camp and the things when he came here, and loved him on film. I mean, he was a guy that we wanted. Those guys that really understand ball, that can do a multitude of things and move, man. It's just, and then he has a really, really good skill set as far as ball skills, ability to run, make you miss, has very, very good top end speed. I mean, so a lot of things he can do. He's a natural football player. He'd be a heck of a defensive football player. I don't want to say I'm not saying he could play. Oh yeah, he's a receiver and a slot and do everything, but he'd be a really good defensive player. I mean, he's a football player and return guy.
All right, Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
We'll get the last